Hello and welcome to the Grist Mill Podcast. I'm Ken Jones, business person, technology expert, educator, musician, and a believer on how we do things matters as much as what we do. This short episode isn't about diving into a certain topic. It's about an introduction to the podcast itself, what it is, what you can expect, and why I'm excited to start the journey with you. The idea for this series came out of my work and conversations about business, technology, and career growth. Over the years, I've worn many hats, teaching, running companies, working with clients across industries and countries. I've always found that the best insights came from sharing experiences openly. A podcast seemed like the perfect space for that. So what's the Grist Mill about? Just like a mill grinds grain into flour, I want this show to grind down complex ideas, business, technology, culture, even sports and music, and turn them into something useful, practical, and hopefully inspiring. So here's a taste of what's ahead. The first episode will be on business ethics, why acting ethically isn't just about avoiding mistakes, but how it builds credibility, trust, and long-term success. We'll look at some pitfalls, things like misrepresentation in sales and marketing, or the risks of financial shortcuts, and why they always backfire. And to make it real, I'll try to weave in stories you may already know. Warren Buffett's famous take on reputation, the downfall of reporters at the New York Times, the collapse of Oasis as a lesson in conflict management, and some other everyday experiences. So the roadmap for the first episodes looks something like this. First, the episode on ethics. Perhaps we'll shift gears and do an episode on songwriting and how music ties into creativity and discipline. Perhaps a recap of a recent talk I gave on gig economy platforms and technology, where we looked at tools like Upwork, Wyzen, and Substack and what they mean for modern careers. And we'll also spend an episode on some current events in business and the economy. I love CNBC. I talk about that all the time in my classes, and I believe that sharing some of those insights with you is really useful. Beyond that, perhaps the podcast might also occasionally be used for a personal anecdote or to reflect on events in the world or to talk about special people or moments worth recognizing. So that's the initial roadmap for the first few episodes, and only time will tell what comes after that. The podcast will grow and evolve as new ideas and conversations come up. I want to leave space to guide where we go. So that's really the spirit of the Grist Mill. It's a mix of reflection, storytelling, and practical advice, combining my interest in business and technology and music and sports and other things. Sometimes it'll be serious, sometimes it'll be lighthearted, but I hope it will always be grounded in the idea that how we do things matters as much as what we do. So think of this episode as a kickoff. In the first week or so, the first deep dive into business ethics will drop, followed by music, technology, current events, and so forth. I hope you find these useful, engaging, and perhaps even a little bit fun. Again, I'm Ken Jones. This is the Grist Mill Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to sharing more with you very, very soon. Have a great day.